There are no words to really explain why it would happen, how it would happen, but we're not going to tolerate it here.
Coming up on Chapman News, judge under fire. Some call it an illegal sentencing. Others are calling for an Orange County judge to resign. We have the details.
Plus, tempers flare at the district attorney's office, protesters shutting down streets and stopping traffic.
And tightening the rules, why the Orange County Sheriff is making it tougher to get a concealed weapons permit.
Pack your doggy bags for Costa Mesa. The Pet Expo comes to town this weekend. That and so much more coming up in entertainment. Chapman News starts now.
Happy Friday. Welcome to Chapman News. I'm Yuri, Scharan.
And I'm Mandi, Ortiz. Thanks for joining us. A lot to get to this afternoon. We start in Santa Ana. Calls for resignation of a Superior Court judge who issued a prison sentence, less than half of the legal minimum, for a man who sexually assaulted a 3-year-old girl in June. Wes Rapaport explains the community outrage.
To bring the scales of justice back to where they belong. Right now, let's be honest, they are like this.
Tensions high at Santa Ana City Hall, with members of the Orange County Board of Supervisors demanding a recall of Superior Court Judge M. Mark Kelly. The case in question, 20-year-old Kevin Rojano Nieto sexually assaulted a 3-year-old girl. Kelly issued a 10-year prison term, less than half of the legal minimum sentence for a crime like this.
His ruling cast a stone in the pond of justice, creating a ripple effect.
The mandatory minimum penalty for the sexual assault under state law would have been 25 years to life. Kelly ruled it would be cruel and unusual punishment to sentence Rojano Nieto to more prison time.
Minimum sentencing guidelines are put in place for a reason.
An online push to have the judge removed is picking up momentum with a Facebook page that has more than 10,000 likes. There's a petition with over 50,000 signatures. The next step to recall Judge Kelly is to gather 90,000 signatures from registered Orange County voters, something Supervisor Sean Nelson says is not an easy task.
But we're the 6th largest county in the United States, so just from a practical matter, it requires a lot of signatures.
Patricia Wenskunis is a survivor of assault and is the founder and CEO of Crime Survivors.
We want the 3-year-old and her family to know that we are here to stop it, to prevent it, and to provide that family hopeful healing.
In Santa Ana, Wes Rapaport, Chapman News.
District Attorney Tony Rackauckus was not in attendance at the press conference, but says he plans on appealing the ruling.
It was a wild scene outside the OC District Attorney's office Tuesday. Protesters shut down multiple streets to get their message across. We are the people. The government does not represent the people. We go to Chapman News reporter Melissa Cano with the story.
More than 50 protesters screamed for justice at the OC District Attorney's office Tuesday afternoon.
And that's what we're doing here. We're saying, do something. Finally do something, because
the grassroots group Chicanos Unidos led the protest by saying they want officers to be held accountable for their actions, including a recent shooting where this mother lost her son.
Shot him in the back, and he had a cell phone in his hand. Not a gun, a cell phone.
This comes just in time for upcoming cases against multiple officer-involved shootings and the proposed Townsend Street gang injunction in Santa Ana.
It's not a battle just in courts now. It is out on the streets, and we are not going to leave. We are not going to stop.
The peaceful protests stopped traffic on Santa Ana Boulevard and Civic Center Drive for 2 hours. Protesters ended at City Hall, where they just wanted their message to be heard. Melissa Cano, Chapman News.
The courts will make decisions on officer-involved shooting outcomes and if Santa Ana will see a new gang injunction by the end of this month. Members of Chicanos Unidos say they'll be present at every case.
Santa Ana police are looking for a gunman who shot and killed a man on Wednesday in broad daylight. The incident took place at the 1100 block of West Chestnut Street. When officers arrived, they found the victim, Paul Guzman, suffering from several gunshot wounds. Orange County paramedics transported Guzman to Western Medical Center in Santa Ana. Guzman died from his injuries to his upper torso. Officials say it appears the victim and the suspect were acquaintances and got into an argument before the shooting. A handgun used in the shooting was found near the crime scene. The suspect left the scene on foot and is currently being sought by detectives.
Westminster School District has decided to pull the textbook Let's Speak Vietnamese from their 7th and 8th grade language classes at Warner Middle School. Many in the community are claiming it has pro-communist language and symbolism. The book has been used at Westminster High School and many universities for years, but parents in the Little Saigon community of Westminster are offended by what is being taught to their young children. The district will be creating a committee to review the material of the textbook and what to replace it with next year.
Chapman University looked a little bit different this week after students covered various statues around campus with caution tape and listed charges for each public figure. Busts of Ronald Reagan, Albert Schweitzer, and Margaret Thatcher, among others, have been labeled with charges like racism and homophobia. Chapman's Dean of Students, Jerry Price, encouraged students not to remove the signs, saying students are allowed to post messages like this as long as they don't block the original statue. By Thursday afternoon, the caution tape was removed from most statues, but not before it sparked a discussion around campus.
Well, I think that there may be subtler ways to do it, but I think certainly, a conversation about white privilege seems to get only more relevant each and every day. I just look at the news. So, yeah, maybe subtlety isn't necessary here, but I hope it triggers a conversation.
No students or Chapman organizations have claimed responsibility for the signs around campus.
Three unidentified men are on the loose after stealing a Chapman University student's belongings from her car. I went to the crime scene to investigate more of the details.
Locking your car door may seem like a small thing to do, but it may be what comes between a criminal and the possibility of theft. On Sunday morning, 3 men drove into Chapman University's Panther Village apartment complex in search of any unlocked cars they could find.
At around 8 a.m. Sunday, the 3 men drove in a gray Volkswagen parked right over there and split up through the parking lot, pulling on different car handles until they eventually found one unlocked.
In these images captured from the security cameras on the property, the 3 men are seen taking objects from a white Corolla and then seen walking back to their car with the stolen items.
And I open the curtains, but I leave the shears closed, and I see this guy just lingering right here. Not touching the car or anything, but he's just kind of loitering in the area, walking around slowly.
With the rise of these types of crimes in the city of Orange, Chapman Public Safety Chief Burba advises residents to stay alert and lock everything up.
Because again, if it's unlocked, it makes an easy target. It's really quick to just open it, grab loose change, iPad, laptop, whatever people might leave behind. Locking your car all the time, not leaving any valuables in plain sight. So what you want to do is make your stuff, your car, your room, anything like that, as hard of a target as possible so that they'll go elsewhere.
From Orange, Yuri, Scharan, Chapman News.
If you have any information regarding the incidents or see any suspicious activity, please contact the Orange Police Department or Chapman Public Safety immediately. And Orange County Sheriff Sandra Hutchins tightens rules on concealed carry permits after a year of relaxation.
We join Alex Manson live at the Orange County Sheriff's Office for the details.
On this case. In February 2014, a 3-judge panel on the Bermuda versus County of San Diego case ruled 2-1 in favor of self-defense being good cause for a concealed carry permit. Since then, Orange County Sheriff Sandra Hutchins has cited this case as the basis for all of her concealed carry weapon permit rulings. Since February 2014, also 4,400 people in Orange County have been granted concealed carry weapon permits, totaling a number of 5,000 people with permits today. With 7,000 applications in progress currently and the case up for a rehearing in June, that number of concealed carry permit holders in Orange County could be at a standstill.
Residents of Orange County looking to get a concealed carry permit might be facing tougher restrictions. On March 27th, OC Sheriff Sandra Hutchins decided to revert back to the pre-Peruta ruling after the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals voted to rehear the case.
The sheriff's committed to following the law. This is not about her personal opinion, and she didn't arbitrarily change the policy a year ago and then change it again a couple of weeks ago. What she's committed to doing is respecting the opinion and the decisions of the courts, and that's what we've done.
Concealed carry advocates such as former U.S. Marine and CCW instructor Lance Boland argue that citizens have a right to self-defense, and that should be sufficient cause to obtain a CCW permit.
It's a natural right for self-defense, to protect yourself, to protect your loved ones from those out there who intend to do harm.
Under the pre-Peruta ruling, CCW applicants must provide good cause other than self-defense, such as carrying large sums of money or valuables. While spokesperson Halleck says that each application is case by case, self-defense firearms Greg Block sees this criteria as something that is nearly impossible for the everyday citizen to meet.
Under her new policy of 218, most of them will not be able to meet that criteria.
The appellate court is scheduled to rehear this case on June 15th, but until then, CCW applicants are subject to the pre-Peruta ruling.
As for those 7,000 applicants currently in progress, I spoke with Orange County Sheriff spokesperson Jeff Halleck, and he says that 1,000 of those 7,000 applicants have already gone through their interview process before the court decided to rehear the case. Therefore, they will be considered under the Peruta ruling. As for the rest of those 6,000 applicants, not much is known about the status of their applications. I'm Alex Manson reporting live from the Orange County Sheriff's Department out in Chapman News.
Thanks, Alex.
And the case will be reheard in court June 15th, and we'll continue to follow that and bring you the latest. A federal judge ordered a transgender inmate sex change surgery last week, and it's coming out of your wallet. Prison inmate Michelle Lyle Norsworthy, born Jeffrey Bryan Norsworthy, will be allowed to undergo gender reassignment surgery, all paid for by California tax dollars. Judge John Tiger in San Francisco ruled that denying the surgery to Norsworthy violates her constitutional rights. Norsworthy was convicted of second-degree murder in 1987 and has been living as a woman since the 90s. She has been diagnosed by prison staff with gender dysphoria. According to Judge Tiger, the surgery is a medical necessity.
One of Chapman's graduate programs is being recognized and putting the business school on the map. The U.S. News & World Report released their ranking of business schools with MBA programs in the country. Chapman's arduous School of Business and Economics made the cut at number 83. The school started in 2005 and offers 3 graduate business degrees, an executive MBA, a professional MBA, and an international MBA. The first time Chapman made the list was in 2012 when it was ranked number 27. This year, Chapman is tied with the University of Tulsa and Auburn University.
And America runs on Dunkin', and now so does Orange County. The East Coast-based chain opened its first location in Orange County on Wednesday in Laguna Hills. The store opened its doors at 5 in the morning with people lining up as early as 3 a.m. to snag a coffee and donut before the workday. This isn't Dunkin' Donuts' first time in the OC. There were shops here in the mid-90s before they closed and headed back to the East Coast. The company has sped up its West Coast comeback, opening 5 shops in SoCal last year and plan to open 1,000 shops throughout California in the coming years. Now, Mandi, I don't know about you, but I am thrilled about this. I love Dunkin' Donuts.
I tried Dunkin' Donuts for the first time in New York in January. They're pretty good, so
Amazing.
Exciting to have them here. Anaheim and Fullerton City Council members are backing the development of the new year-round Orange County homeless shelter. The 200-bed facility has plans to be located at 1000 North Kramer Place in Anaheim, but issues of budget on purchasing the $4.2 million property are still under discussion. This new shelter is necessary to replace housing for the winter season shelters in Fullerton and Santa Ana that will be closed starting on April 15th for the duration of the summer. The 4-0 vote by the Anaheim City Council is in support of building the shelter, with a close follow by Fullerton's council vote at 4-1.
And coming up, 7th grade scientists getting middle schoolers involved in the sciences.
And we're joined by National Geographic B's 6th place contestant, and he's only 11 years old.
We had rain on Tuesday, but did that help our drought at all? I'll tell you that and much more coming up on Chapman News.
Follow your dreams. Chapman University. Take your life to new heights. Chapman University. Invest your humanity. Lead. Follow your dreams. Chapman University. History, philosophy, peace studies, languages. Study abroad and explore the world. Become a global citizen. The Wilkinson College at Chapman University. Invest your humanity. Lead.
Just into the newsroom, Dean of Students Jerry Price announced in an email this morning that Chapman University graduate student Haley Tates died earlier this week due to complications related to a gallbladder surgery. Tates was a graduate student in the psychology program in the College of Educational Studies. Her friends described her as genuine, bright, and passionate about her work. A private service has already been held, but details for an on-campus memorial will be announced once available. We send our condolences to the family and friends of our fellow Panther. There are tons of grocery stores all over Orange County, but if you want a more personable and fun grocery experience, Old Town Orange has a farmers and artisans market. Reporter Morgan Jewell takes us there.
Located right across the street from Chapman University's Dodge College is the Farmers Market. Whether you pride yourself on finding items that you can't find at the grocery store down the street, or just enjoy getting out on a Saturday morning, there's something that everyone can enjoy at this market.
I came here and I just fell in love with the energy and the awareness, and the customers are all real foodie people.
We are a company called Guerrilla Beekeepers, and we do sustainably produced honey, and we do live removals for bees.
You can buy grass-fed, grass-finished beef here. We also have fish too that's local and sustainable. We have poultry, we have fresh eggs, we've got avocados and citrus that are from Tustin and Villa Park. We try to pride ourselves in bringing very, very local products.
The Old Town Orange Farmers and Artisans Market is not only a great place for families to come on a Saturday morning, but it's a great place for Chapman University students to come to get their weekly groceries.
It's a lot nicer than like a grocery store. It's usually actually like about the same price, and you just end up getting like better quality and nice people, and it's like fun to go on a Saturday morning.
We've been very successful at running a really community-driven farmers market here. Just bring a lot of life and vitality here. We just want to collaborate as much as possible with Chapman students because you guys are fabulous.
From the Orange Farmers Market, I'm Morgan Jewell, Chapman News.
The farmers market is open every Saturday from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m.
California is in the midst of a sea lion crisis, and scientists say they don't know when it will end. Monica Petroselli reports.
A record high of sick and starving sea lions are washing up all along the California coastline, and rescue centers like the Pacific Marine Mammal Center in Laguna Beach are struggling to keep up. This time last year, the center had 43 sea lion patients. Today, over 127. And scientists are wondering why. Some say that the warmer water temperatures are causing mother sea lions to have to swim out farther in search of food, leaving the pups to fend for themselves.
They're starving, and when they're starving, they're also dehydrated at the same time, losing all their body fat, and as a result, they wash up on the beaches. Then we get called, and that's when our volunteer teams come down to rescue them.
When the pups get to the center, they're fed a liquid diet of what volunteers like to call fish smoothies. Once they gain back about 50 pounds, they're finally ready to go home.
With so many sea lions washing up on Orange County beaches, it's important to remember to never try to approach one of these animals. While it may seem like a good idea to try to feed the starving pups, this can actually cause more harm to them. So if you find a stranded seal or sea lion, you should tell a lifeguard right away or call the Pacific Marine Mammal Center at 949-494-50. Reporting in Laguna Beach, I'm Monica Petroselli for Chapman News.
The Pacific Marine Mammal Center is open every day from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and right now they are in need of donations.
Their full wish list can be found on their website at pacificmmc.org.
And at the end of March, a very bright 11-year-old boy named Hirsch Mehta competed in California's National Geographic Bee held in Fresno.
Hirsch took home an impressive 6th place in the competition and was the youngest finalist in the bee. We're so excited to have you in our studio with us today. Welcome, Hirsch.
Hi, Hirsch.
Hello. So tell us a little bit about the process of getting involved in the National Geographic Bee. How do you go about doing that?
So first you have to be interested and win your school Geographic Bee, and if you do so, you're eligible to take a written test, and basically if you get a high enough score on the written test, then you go to the Fresno State Geography Bee.
Awesome.
And did you do a lot of preparation for the bee, or what did you do to prepare?
Well, I studied for about 3.5 weeks prior to the Geography Bee for about 1 hour per day.
Okay. Well.
And so tell me about on that day of the actual bee. Were you nervous? How were you feeling?
I was definitely not nervous on the day of the Geography Bee because that's my philosophy. I'm not nervous, you win or you don't, and there's nothing to be nervous about.
Now, Hirsch, how old are you? You're 11, right?
Correct.
And at what age did you become interested in geography?
I became interested in geography at about age 1. When I was 1, I held just maps, and I was interested in the maps, and I just got really interested in geography.
Oh, wow.
So what was your favorite part of the bee?
My favorite part of the bee was the written examination section where we'd write our answers down on whiteboards and hold them up in the air, and it was very fast because you could just get eliminated right there.
Oh, wow. That probably made you nervous, right? Or no?
No, definitely not.
Really? Okay. It would make me nervous. But I mean, when you did this year and you were so successful, do you think you're going to do it again next year?
I really hope I will qualify to get into Fresno next year, and I would like to get even a higher place next year.
Awesome. Setting goals. So what do you want to do when you grow up? You want to do something with geography?
Yes, I want to own a hotel company and use geography in my business.
Well, let me know if you have any discounts for that hotel. Thank you so much, Hirsch.
Thanks for being here.
Now, Governor Jerry Brown is imposing California's first mandatory water restriction for the state's water crisis.
The drought has already affected many businesses in California, but is there a positive side to the drought? Reporter Deborah Kendrick has the story.
In my career, no. I have not seen it this bad.
Jerry Vilander of Scharan Water District said in his 20 years of working in the water industry, he never thought it would get this bad, saying that the government isn't the one to blame.
That they're doing a good job. They're just trying to ensure that there's enough water to go around, and that's why they're imposing these restrictions.
The drought could be a new normal for Californians, a good normal, as the drought has already affected the nation's economy. And don't be surprised if you see prices of fruits and vegetables start to go up. The Irvine Lake, home to fishing and recreational activities, has been living with the effects for quite some time.
Now, all the land behind me here was once considered Irvine Lake, but nearly half of it is gone, all because of the lack of rainwater. But for some people, this actually might have a benefit.
This is that typically the fishermen, from what I understand, they either like the lake full or they like it very low. So actually the lower, the theory is that, well, they have just as many fish in a smaller area to fish, so then it's easier to fish.
For now, Californians avoid using excess water to avoid that hefty fine. I'm Deborah Kendrick reporting for Chapman News.
Now, it seems like every week we have a new update on how the drought is affecting California and now even the nation. I know we got some slight rain here in Orange County and over the past week, but I can't imagine that would have made much of a difference.
We have Deborah Kendrick in the Weather Center right now with the details. Now, Deborah, for my favorite segment of the show, can you tell us if we have any chance of rain in our forecast?
Mandi and Yuri, you know, the rain helped us, but it didn't solve the big problem. We are still in this drought. But this weekend, it looks like we won't be getting that relief anytime soon because we are not expecting any rain. But let's go ahead and take a look and see what Orange is looking like today. So as of right now at noon, we do have the temperature's at 70 degrees right now. It is sunny outside, but there was a little bit of a wind this morning, about 5 to 10 degrees. So it shouldn't have affected your day at all, but just so you are aware that we did have some winds this morning. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our Orange County forecast. Starting with Westminster, we do have, well, they did have a high this morning of about 67 degrees, and then working our way down south, around the coastal area, you did see a temperature of about 63 to 61 degrees, which is typical. Obviously, for a coastal city, you will see temperatures start to cool down just a little bit. And looking at a wider map, actually out of SoCal, we have up north in Santa Barbara, 66-degree temperatures. Moving our way down to Los Angeles, you had a high of about 68 degrees. Going to Big Bear Lake, where they actually had snow on Tuesday, the high is going to be 55 degrees, and at Palm Springs, the high is 81 degrees. Now, let's look at our 5-day forecast for Orange County. It looks like today, as I said, we do have partly sunny skies, about 70 degrees. On Sunday, you will see the temperature reach up to 76 degrees. Evening cloud coverage, so just so you are aware of that. And Monday, Tuesday, great weather for you there. Now, if you're headed out to Coachella this weekend, you are going to have some beautiful weather, all sunshine throughout the weekend. Make sure you stay hydrated, make sure you drink plenty of water, and make sure you watch out for your friends, because we want to make sure that everyone stays hydrated and stays safe. Now, if you're going to the opening night tonight at Angel Stadium, this is what you will expect as your temperature. At 5 p.m., high 60s, 7 p.m., mid 60s, and 10 p.m. you're looking at 60 degrees. All right, that's all I have for you here in the Weather Center, but let's go ahead and send it over to Logan Beerman, who has our sports update. Logan?
Thanks, Deborah. The Kings looking to clinch a playoff spot in Calgary. Plus, we'll get you caught up on the Halos coming up next Campus Sports Show.
Odds of becoming an astronaut, 1 in 13,200,000. Odds of being struck by lightning, 1 in 576,000. Odds of dating a supermodel, 1 in 88,000. Odds of bowling a perfect game, 1 in 11,500. Odds of being trapped in an elevator, 1 in 24,528. Odds of catching a ball at a major league game, 1 in 563. Odds of an injury from shaving, 1 in 6,585. Odds of tripping while texting, 1 in 10. Odds of getting cancer in your lifetime, 1 in 2 men, 1 in 3 women.
It's up to us.
To change the odds for our generation.
For the ones we love. For our future.
If you don't like the odds, stand up. Stand up to cancer.
Disasters happen with little or no warning and often occur while you are away from home. Be ready for emergencies by registering your alternate phone numbers, cell phones, and email addresses at alertoc.com. You will receive alerts when an emergency occurs near your workplace or neighborhood.
Welcome back. I'm Logan Beerman. This is the Best Campus Sports Show. The defending champion Stanley Cup Kings were in a must-win situation yesterday against the Calgary Flames. Both teams were vying for a playoff spot in the Pacific Division with only 2 games remaining. Let's get to the action. In Calgary, first period, the Kings need a win here. This is Hudler. Gets the rebound will bounce out to Johnny Hockey. And does it go in? Let's take another look here from behind the net. Goudreau will get the rebound here and put it on net. The puck will land on Quick's shoulder, and he'll fall back into the net. 1-0 Calgary early, and they kept dominating in the first period. This is later in the period. The Kings get caught up on a line change, and Hudler puts it in the back of the net. That's his 30th goal of the year. Calgary 2-0, and the Kings just had no answer. This is the third period now. Quick's out of the net, empty netter for Hudler, and that'll do it. The Flames clinch a spot in the playoffs, and the Kings, well, they're going home. The Kings are the third defending champions to miss the Stanley Cup playoffs in the last 20 years. The last defending champs to miss the playoffs were the Carolina Hurricanes in 2007. Baseball is back. The Angels went up to Seattle to open up the season this past week. King Felix shut them down on opening day, but C.J. Wilson returned the favor in Game 2. Now we'll get you the highlights from the rubber match. First inning action, bartender, how about a jack? Pujols goes deep to left field. He ties Frank Thomas on the all-time home run list at 521. Later in the inning, Ibar grounds to second base. Oh no, Robbie Cano under his glove. The Angels get 2 on the play. That's Freeze scoring there. They put up a 4 spot in the first frame. On to the 8th inning now. Joe Smith on the mound. Bases loaded. 5-3 Angels. That's Ricky Weeks swinging. Logan Morrison next. Flies out to center field. Angels win 5-3 and take the series. The Angels head back to Anaheim to take on the Kansas City Royals in their home opener tonight at 7 o'clock at Angel Stadium. Hector Santiago will be on the mound for the Angels. Spring sports are in full bloom, but one Chapman student is keeping it cool and icy. Reporter Renee Willis has the story.
Julie Brown is a sophomore at Chapman studying television, but her real dedication? Synchronized ice skating. She's been ice skating since she was 5, and after finding out she was going to college in California, she looked for a team to join. Brown is currently on a USA team whose practice schedule, some might say, is crazy.
On my team now, we practice 4 mornings a week at 4:30 a.m. and anywhere from around like an hour and a half to 3 hours, so it's a lot more intense, definitely.
Synchronized ice skating is a team of 16 people, mainly women, who perform different formations with fancy footwork and lifts on ice.
That's what I prefer to do because I really don't like to skate by myself. It makes me nervous. I don't like everybody looking at me, so I decided I like synchro better and just stopped skating by myself.
Brown just got back from competing at nationals in France. Despite not making it to Worlds this year, she says in the off-season they will work hard to try to make it next year. I'm Renee Willis, Chapman News.
Julie Brown will actually be attending the World Synchronized Skating Competition this weekend in Canada. She hopes this is her last year as a spectator. The Masters are underway, the first major of the year, and yesterday 21-year-old Jordan Spieth was the story. The kid from Dallas torched the greens of Augusta National and tallied 9 birdies on the day, and he's in good company. The last person to make 9 birdies in a round at the Masters? Yeah, Mr. Tiger Woods. Spieth shot an 8 under 64 for the round, 1 stroke away from tying the course record. After 1 round, Spieth sat atop of the leaderboard with a 3-stroke cushion. And today, Spieth kept the momentum going. He's now 14 under for the tournament through 2 rounds. That is a course record, and he leads the field by 4 strokes as of now. We'll be right back.
Stand up for what's right. Chapman University. Passion, perseverance, teamwork, integrity. Create value in the world. The School of Law at Chapman University. Lead. Follow your dreams. Chapman University. Chemistry, physics, computational science, biology. Start doing research in your first year. Soar to new heights. The Schmidt College of Science at Chapman University. Explore.
And I know Coachella is going on this weekend, but there are a couple of great things going on a little closer to us here in Orange.
And the weather's going to be a little bit cooler down here than in Indio, I'm sure. Jules, tell us what's going on this weekend.
Well, thanks, guys. Comic book fans are going to have to spend a little more gas money to attend WonderCon, Anaheim's annual 3-day extravaganza next year. And it will probably be worth the trip. The Anaheim Convention Center hosted WonderCon for the last 4 years, but the annual gathering of comic book retailers and fans will move to the Los Angeles Convention Center in March 2016. According to Anaheim and Orange County Convention Bureau spokesperson Tanya Winkle, WonderCon changed their dates for the 2016 festivities and could not be accommodated by the city of Anaheim. San Diego-based Comic-Con International owns WonderCon and is considering moving Comic-Con from San Diego to either Los Angeles or Anaheim. Next year's WonderCon is projected to make $32 million after all 3 days and possibly bring more Comic-Con events to the Los Angeles area in the future. WonderCon was founded 28 years ago and originally held at the Oakland Convention Center before hopping over the Bay Bridge, the Moscone Center in 2003, and finally down to Anaheim in 2012. Now, there's always money in the banana stand as well as in the hit TV show Arrested Development. According to executive producer Brian Grazer, 17 more episodes of the Fox-turned-Netflix original comedy are on the way. How soon? No one knows just yet, but what we do know is that the show will continue to film in Orange County, in locations like Newport Beach and Marina del Rey. Ted Sarandos, chief content officer of Netflix, expressed high interest in bringing back all of the Bluths back in January. This weekend, America's Family Pet Expo is in town. From April 10th to the 12th, make your way to Costa Mesa to check out a wide variety of furry friends. The annual event brings animals of the world together to create healthier and happier pets. Highlights of the expo include police dog demonstrations, a pig race, and a bird show. I'll be steering clear of that one. Also at the event are booths featuring furry friends that are up for adoption. General admission is $13 for adults and free for children under 5. And despite the name, the Pet Expo asks you to keep your own little Sparky at home. Now, that's it for entertainment this week. You guys, I'm heading over to that Pet Expo, hoping to see some husky puppies.
Thanks, Jules.
And don't forget to smile, because it's Friday. Thank you so much for watching us. I'm Yuri, Scharan.
And I'm Mandi Ortiz. Have a great weekend at Coachella, the Angel Games, or that Pet Expo. We'll see you next week. Yeah.